Good morning, and thank you for joining Resilient You with Alicia Pisani. On our show, we have guests each week that talk about topics of resilience. This week, I'm so excited to have someone who is very special, and I think she's going to really share a lot of good insight and information, as well as we get to learn about her personal story. She has a journey that she is going to share with us. So, Michelle Lynne, thank you for joining us on Resilient.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, Michelle, you have a story that involves your personal and professional life. Would you mind jumping right out of the gate and telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. So I'm a Canadian pianist who lives in the Netherlands, right beside the Belgian border. And I moved over here 10 years ago now to pursue a career as a classical pianist, and very quickly encountered the challenges of being a transplant and having to start your career and life over from scratch without knowing anyone, without knowing the language or the culture. And at the same time, I left my university. I finished my master's degree. And so it was just like a total culture shock, as well as a personal shock, to leave that safe bubble of people who understand you and to kind of get thrown into the real world. So through lots of trial and error and different things, I've managed to establish myself here now in your...
Yeah, that's so good. That's wonderful. And it's needed, right? Because the whole industry has changed, and it is something that you need to do, right? You have to know how to market. You have to be a marketer. You have to be a promoter. You have to have technical skills to know how to manage not only your schedules, but your time. And I think that is what you do in your business, right? So the Fearless Artist helps artists learn how to organize their life.
Yeah, we definitely work on, life skills like time management. Energy management is a big one for our clients because they are usually completely overworked. They're juggling families and gigs and administration and, building your own website and a lot of skills that they weren't taught necessarily how to do. So it's all of that information overload. But then we also help them on the emotional health side of things where, as an artist, we deal with rejection or self-criticism or, competition, comparison. Social media has made a lot of these more negative things very possible. So we kind of deal with both of those sides, the business side and the emotional side, to create this whole artist who is what we call fearless, meaning you don't let fear stop you from taking opportunities. Of course, all of us still feel fear. And, it was, I felt fear releasing my songs, for example, because you're putting a part of yourself out into the world. But if that stops you, if you become your own ceiling, that's really where the tragedy is, because then your artistic voice isn't being released. And I know that's for you too, as you're an author, you released books. I mean, you've had to overcome a lot probably of that inner doubt and say, I know that this message needs to be heard by people, so I'm going to put it out there. You overcome a lot of resistance too with that.